our team, and I've got to say, this is Cleveland, this is our town, this is our team, and I've got to say,
it's Maddie and Patty, coast to coast. From Brooklyn, it's Pat McMenamin. To the Golden State, it's Matt Youngner. Say hello, Maddie.
Hey, Patty. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Did that sound come through?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. That was This is Cleveland. I am presuming either a Mike Fratello or Andre Miller era team theme song.
Yeah, I think I remember that one.
And, you know, that's what – you actually remember that?
I think I remember that one.
I don't remember that at all, but I was listening to some songs today, figuring out what I was going to play at the top, and I heard the Shaker Heights call out. Got real pumped.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, that's exactly what this is, Maddie. This is Cleveland. The way this city reacted to its first home final win was inspiring. And not just the confetti after every game, too early craziness, but rather, if you guys think this is crazy, just fucking –
That was the feedback I got from a lot of Warriors fans out here was like, they know they didn't win last night, right? I was like, hey, we're quite aware. Everybody's terrified still. Yeah. Don't worry.
We're horribly terrified.
This is something still, though.
I'll talk about this a little more later, but I saw the game at a bar last night because my satellite crashed just as the game started. Normally I watch in the cold depths of my basement, just shuddering in terror in the corner. When that crashed, I just ran upstairs and said, honey, I'm sorry. I have to leave. I have to go to a bar. And I literally sprinted to the bar, and the people there just kept looking at me going like, why, you guys are winning. What's the, calm down. Aren't you? You should be like, have faith in your team. I'm like, no, you guys aren't from Cleveland. You don't understand.
You have no idea.
I know what's coming. And it did come. But the Cavs survived a furious and completely terrifying comeback, pulling off yet another completely unexpected victory for a crucial 2-1 series lead. But it is not over yet, not by a long shot. By way of introduction, Maddie and Patty, we are two long-suffering Cleveland sports fans who spend far too much time watching, reading, and thinking about the Cavs. We are unapologetic homers. We are self-aware homers with brains, so if you would like the informed, intelligent Cleveland fans' perspective on all things Cavs, you've come to the right place. Maddie, before we get underway, I have a Maddie and Patty Cavs podcast exclusive.
Whoa.
A world global exclusive.
Whoa.
What
is it?
What else can I say? A universe exclusive?
Yeah, nobody else has this, I don't think. I want to know what it is.
Montel Williams.
What?
Of the Montel Williams show fame.
He's famous. He's on infomercials, Pat.
You know what else he is, Matt?
What?
He's a Cavs fan.
Boom.
So everyone, keep your shit together. Quick setup. Montel Williams actually follows me on Twitter. It was my first a famous person I grew up follows me moment. You won't actually remember me, but I produced him on Stossel before and Freedom Watch with Judge Napolitano. Most of it, I'm sure, is due to where I work off post. But he's, just to say about him in general, he's an incredibly gracious, friendly, and engaging person on Twitter and in person. Anyway, I saw a tweet from him last night. I was going after the game. He tweeted at Tom Haberstroh, one of my favorite national sports reporters, saying, Tom Haberstroh just got dunked on by Cavs coach David Blatt. It was an odd question. That one's going viral. Haberstroh responds, yo, Montel. Montel responds, yo, Tom, you guys are on a roll at NBA pressers, lol. I almost choked on my glass of water, crying face emoticon. Haberstroh responds, I thought it was a pretty good question, but I got dunked on, frowny face. Montel responds, I'm just not sure I accept its premise. Blatt is the only coach whose press conferences are any fun. Haberstroh, premise, as long as LeBron's milking the clock and TT Maj crash the boards, they'll live with 20 missed field goal attempts. Montel says, I'm not sure I agree he was taking bad shots, but I certainly accept that what you wrote is exactly right. So I tweeted him saying, this is killing me. I missed it, Tom. What was the question? Montel responded saying the coach took issue with Tom's characterization of LeBron's performance. I never really actually saw it. You saw it apparently, but following my question, he actually direct messaged me to follow up, and we ended up chatting offline, off the record for a good, I don't know, 30 minutes. It was pretty crazy. He's a super friendly guy. And I was like, I have to ask you, because this is crazy. Montel Williams, are you a Cavs fan? And the answer was yes. So we got some powerful people, Matty, back in the Cavs.
Look at that. All the famous people.
Take that.
Cleveland. All the famous people.
Speaking of,
eat a dick, Larry Ellison. Montel's with us.
Yeah. Back off. Bow down. We got Montel. Montel, we love you. Hope you become a fan of the podcast. I'll tweet this at you, and hopefully you enjoy the intro. Anyway, Matt, let's move on to the kill list. Again, for new listeners, the kill list is not a literal thing. It is a metaphorical exercise trying to quantify morally how hateable players in the other team are by asking yourself, in a consequence-free environment, in the heat of the playoffs, would you find yourself saying to yourself, I might murder this person if I had the opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
And Maddie, I don't know about you, but Draymond Green just skyrocketed to #1 for me tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Last night, I should say. What are your thoughts?
No, you're absolutely right. The premise of the kill list recognizes that things get much more murdery in the playoffs, right? It's much more tense. You're getting worked up about stuff. Little things become big. There's a magnifying word.
Murdery. Is murdery now an adjective?
Yeah, that works.
I'll go with it. Go ahead.
I'm feeling murdery. Right, and the tenser and closer the playoff games, the bigger the stage, the more your emotions run, and the more things get under your skin. So I wanted to murder a lot of people last night, but definitely I agree with you. The top of that list is Mr. Green. He was making me mad, very mad,
big time.
And no small feat to jump over Bogut too, who's
still there.
Exactly. They're both there. They've crossed the threshold for me, both of them.
For me, the illegal screens, the unnecessarily rough leaning into injury. Injury sounds too much like injury, so it's not really helpful as a made-up adjective. Injury-inducing illegal screens, the screaming F-bombs in refs' faces. I
cannot believe he has not been teched.
What does he have to do to get a goddamn technical? This is completely unacceptable in any other playoff or not series I've ever seen. You can't do that to refs, and they just take it. I think we talked
about this earlier. I'm generally in favor of less techs in these situations, just because I don't want the refs exerting that much control, and I don't really care if they're getting cursed at. That's not my problem.
Yeah.
But it is surprising how far he's gone and not drawn anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what more besides touching a ref he would have to do to draw one. He's done like the full screaming, definitely dropping F-bombs in their face while making arm motions. Yeah.
And he is when he screams, that's a big scary guy who got he's got that just that angry face. He just screams right in the. He looks very loud. Can I put it that way? He looks like you, Matt. He looks like you. You were a lot of. Well, no, I meant more. God, how do you describe someone looking?
I like where you're going.
He looks loud, is what I mean. In the way that you actually are incredibly loud. And if you saw you across the street, you go like, "Oh, that's a loud motherfucker." And that is Dre Green.
A little unhinged too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like he's really starting to lose control of himself.
Yeah, big time, which is helping us in the game. But meanwhile, Andrew Bogut, as you mentioned, is hanging around. I think he's just going. He's always out there. He's always a threat for the top of the kill list. But he definitely drops #2 this week. After Game 3? Go ahead.
So my Andrew Bogut nugget. The nerve on this guy.
I think I know. I know.
It's unbelievable.
I know.
There's a quote in a piece.
Yeah.
I think it was the Sherwood Strauss piece where he talks about how it's a real East Coast series, a lot of grabbing, and bumping going on. And then Strauss, the parenthetical is, Bogut should know he spent 6 years in the East with the Milwaukee Bucks. Not that Bogut should know he's the lead practitioner of this kind of garbage night in and night out.
His entire game is predicated on dirty, cheating, East Coast grabby style.
Outrageous.
Unfucking believable. Actually, I got real cocky. I thought you were going for a different quote. Before Game 3, he actually compared Kevin Love to David Lee, injured Kevin Love, who can't actually play in this series. Like, this is just the ultimate cheap shot. Compare Kevin Love to David Lee en route to insulting them both, I think, if that's possible. He said, quote, he was talking about obviously the preseason trade that Golden State did not pull the trigger on, which would have sent, various parts of Golden State's current core to Minnesota to get Kevin Love. One of them being Klay Thompson. There were some rumors of Draymond Green being part of that package.
Barnes.
Barnes. Obviously, seeing how the night and day leaps that both Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Harrison Barnes, frankly, made this past year, make it obvious that that's too much of a price to pay, even for Kevin Love at the numbers he was at last year. Even though, of course, I think Kevin Love actually had a fantastic year for the Cavs. It's just the numbers look differently on different teams, and fit matters more than individual contributions. Anyway, he said, I didn't think Kevin Love, would be a huge upgrade. David Lee provides the same output besides the three-point shooting. The same output besides three-point shooting. I thought we could have just found a stretch four at a veteran's minimum. Someone like James Jones. What an unbelievable asshole. What a dick. Oh, my God. Bogut. I mean, like I almost admire it. It's just such a conviction, the commitment to being an asshole, to being a dick. That it's like even David Black can learn a thing or two if he wants to be more of a dick. He's got some stuff to learn from Andrew Bogut. Black's never been this much of a dick.
No, Bogut knows just what he's doing when he's talking there and on the court.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And his nonsense has continued unabated. The refs are on him a little bit. We talked about this last time.
Yeah, they've actually called him out pretty good.
He's starting to get some calls for loose ball fouls, mostly holding Tristan down when he's going for rebounds. But he's doing way more dirty. He's still getting away with stuff. It's working out in his favor to keep doing it every play, and daring them to call it every time.
Absolutely. Lastly, Jeff Van Gundy. I was at a bar, as I said, so I didn't actually get to hear the game. Does he stay on the list, or was he largely innocuous last night?
I don't have anything that jumps to my mind, so I don't think he wasn't good, but I didn't want to murder him.
Yeah, okay. Does he stay on the murder list, or does he fall off?
He's on the watch. He's on the watch list. We always need to be vigilant in looking at what Van Gundy says.
Well, he was
up at a moment's notice.
Yeah, this is true. He was on the kill list after Game 1 for us, just because we didn't have the heart to talk about the kill list after Game 1, the crushing loss of both the game and Kyrie Irving. But he has now fallen from kill list to watch list, so that's an improvement, Jeff. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Let's get to the game, Maddie.
Did anybody else make it there for you, Patty?
For me, no. Sorry, I moved ahead. Obviously, no.
Any Warriors? Any other Warriors?
Not really. You? It sounds like you may have somebody on your mind.
Barbosa's annoying me.
It's
mostly because I just don't like how he runs around out there, but not murdering.
I don't know. Funny thing about Barbosa, the way he runs around, it reminds me of the way Delly looks when he runs.
A little bit. His jump shot's a little Delly-esque too.
Yeah. What did somebody describe it as? I think Ned pointed this out to us. I saw it in my Twitter feed too, but somebody on Fear of the Sword said he looks like he's jumping out of a birthday cake. That's what it looks like when he takes a jump shot.
The other one I heard today that I thought was good, I can't remember who did it, so sorry for no attribution, it might have been on Grantland, that he looks like he had just got a wet willy and is reacting to it by bringing his...
Yeah, I just noticed that in the freeze frame, the way he shoots, he puts his hand right in front of his face, so he tilts his head to the left, away from his right hand, so he can see the basket while he shoots. It's insane. It's almost like, who was the guy that put the ball to the right hand shoulder? Like he literally shot the ball to the right of his head. I feel like there was some guy who did that. I mean, it's almost like Marion with his crazy ass like flipping in front of his face. But I feel like there was some professional level basketball player who literally shot decent jumpers or 3-point shots from like his right shoulder, like he's like shot putting.
You're right. And I can't remember who it is, but you're right.
It's just killing me. If anyone live is listening, text, comment, please let us know if you can remember who that basketball player is. This is a reverse of trivia. We don't actually know the answer. We want to crowdsource amongst our 3 live viewers. Who is this professional basketball player that puts decent shots? Anyway.
So the other person that's getting here for me, Pat, is Klay Thompson.
Interesting. Okay.
Several of our listeners have mentioned the face. I don't like the face thing with him, which is alive and well.
Which is interesting, by the way, Matt, because he kind of looks like a really handsome version of Brendan.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. The really handsome part's a little weird, and I'll let it go. But he does look like Brendan too. He's got a Roman nose, just like Brendan does.
Yep.
I thought the same thing as I was watching the game.
Brendan, I'm not saying Brendan's not a handsome man. Brendan, I love you. You're a handsome man. You know what? No, I'm sorry. Handsome's the wrong thing. Handsome is actually Brendan.
Keep digging, Pat. I like where this is going. Keep digging.
Oh, I'm gonna keep digging because that's what I'm best at. Brendan's a handsome man. Klay Thompson's a pretty boy, right? Wouldn't that be the right distinction?
Fine.
No.
I like it.
You disagree?
I don't want to go too far into agreeing with your.
You don't want to agree with me. You don't want to get in this hole with me. You don't want to get in this hole.
I do not. But the thing I'll add is I have noticed that the promo shot they have of Klay Thompson, which is extremely annoying, and he's sticking his tongue out.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, that's annoying.
He also he's got a mark on his forehead that makes him look like he's a Catholic that's just coming from an Ash Wednesday service. Which also makes him more Massini-like to me.
Oh my God.
Just the Italian part. So
that is amazing.
But
that is incredible.
None of looking like Brendan and a fake Catholic does not make him killable for me. But
what is it?
A lot of I think he never thinks he fouls anybody, and I don't like that. He's clearly fouling.
Oh my God! Like just obvious, not a question about it. Fouls. I mean,
complains every time. Thinks he's never fouled anybody. It's common for them. I agree.
The Warriors react as if, and the weird thing is, like, I feel like the real fouls where they clearly foul, or I'm sorry, no, the fouls that are questionable, I feel like they react better to. When it's an obvious foul, they just go crazy and sprint to the other end of the court and go nuts. It's bizarre.
They're overreactors for sure.
Bizarre.
By the way, my brother points out, I believe it's Matt Bonner that you mentioned earlier that has the crazy off to the side shot.
Is it? He's just off to the side. I feel like I didn't know that.
He has a very weird set shot.
Matt Bonner. All right, Johnny Youngner coming in the clutch. It's not who I was thinking of. I feel like there's somebody else I'm thinking of too. I feel like there's.
Let it keep marinating on it.
Keep marinating. It's never gonna come to me, but I'll keep marinating on it. I'd say his complaining is really annoying, but he's at best watch list. I mean, I think he's honestly below Curry for me.
Oh no, I don't know. You're not getting as angry as I am during these games. There were times I think I wanted to murder Sean Livingston for a moment yesterday.
Oh, really?
Who I love. Serious.
It's going to take a lot of bile and vitriol for me to turn on Sean Livingston. I love that.
I got mad at Steve Kerr when he was yelling at the refs at the end of the game. This is too intense for me not to think about murdering people.
It's funny. I feel like when you're in a bar, you get distracted by more things because you're talking to people.
Oh, that's definitely true. I
didn't get as angry. Also, I was with some really charming, lovely Golden State fans who I think I freaked them out by clearly how much more I cared about this game than anyone else in that bar.
Weren't you asked to watch outside through the window at one point, Pat? Well,
and that guy wasn't actually a fan. He had money on the Warriors. And he was
even worse,
terrifying. And he just said, hey, because his buddy who had been on the Cavs was bragging constantly and grabbing me as a prop, literally grabbing me as a prop, and I'm small compared to these guys. And I'm being a good sport about it, like showing the jersey I was wearing, my Deion Waiters jersey. And just pointing to it, and the guy's like, "I'm sorry, you got to go outside. You got to walk outside and watch this." And I was like, I'm sorry, sir, I can't do that. Just very polite. And no, I mean, they were just fucking around, having a good time. But they were enjoying the fact that they were gigantic and twice my size and having fun with it.
You make a good point, though. When you're out with people, it's harder to work up the angry frenzy at guys on the other team. And I was isolated myself at home, and so
yeah, because you have no one to talk to, and I can complain to people, and they'll say, "Yeah, that was a bullshit call," or "No," and you argue with them. You know,
there's no release valve to emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
fair enough. We can move on.
I think we should, only because now, just fair warning, guys. Again, courtesy amnesty again is in effect for the remainder of the finals. Again, I forgot to give my disclaimer at the top of the show. But also, this is going to be a long one, I think, only because we started earlier in the night and we have a lot to get to. And I don't know, Matt. I don't feel like rushing. Do you?
No.
Let's roll with it. Yeah, exactly. So let's move on to the game. I want to talk about the game in 2 parts, really. First, the first 3 quarters, and then the last quarter, because they're 2 completely different games.
They are 2 distinct parts. I agree.
So let's talk about the first 3 quarters, the good stuff. I think you have to start with Delhi's defense and Curry's funk, right? Chicken and the egg kind of situation, right? I mean, Curry looked horrible. People, and also his body language was terrible. He was sulking.
People compared it to LeBron in the 11 series against the Mavericks, right? Where he just sort of didn't look like he wanted it. And was shrinking from the moment.
But Delhi was playing fantastic defense. They were showing on every pick, giving him time to recover, pushing him out, away from shooting range. And shooting range is very deep for Steph Curry. And I just thought he was – Delhi, of course, was fantastic, as we talked about. I mean, we've gotten to the point where – I mean, obviously Delhi went to the hospital after the game for IV treatment for cramps and dehydration. And that is going to be a real big key to the series. Dellavedova's health is the key to the Cavs' NBA Finals chances. I just said that, and it's a true statement. What the fuck is happening in the world?
Is he literally the second most important player on the team right now?
Yes, and for the same reason I said at the beginning of the NBA Finals podcast, our preview podcast I did, where I played Whiplash and said Kyrie was the key to the series. I wasn't talking about Kyrie's offense. I wasn't at all, actually. Even though I was, that was presumed, obviously, sort of assumed, part of his offense is the key thing. I said, honestly, we can only get the benefit of his offense if he can hang on defense. We need him to be able to shut down Steph Curry on defense. And that was what I was thinking. And it's the same thing for Delhi. Delhi's the only guy left on our roster that can actually effectively check Curry. He's the only guy that can do it by being physical. The way Kyrie was being physical, frankly, they were covering quickly. And I don't know what it is about Shump. I want to talk about this in a second when we get to the fourth quarter. But Shump has a problem with Curry. He can't guard Curry the way that Delhi can. What are your thoughts on Delhi and Curry in the first 3 quarters?